Hey guys, welcome to Questions for Your Quarantine with Temple BC students. It's me and John, again, back at it today. Again, we want to remind you, in the spirit of not wanting to cause panic, there is no actual quarantine in place, but John thought it was a clever name, so we're going with it.
Right.
John, how you doing today?
I'm doing great today.
Better than yesterday?
Better than yesterday. My
Okay.
schedule's a little bit more clear because, we can't really do a whole lot of things.
No. This is really, when you think about it, from a youth ministry standpoint, this is one of the few things that we can actually do. So we are loving that we're here in front of you guys, right here, right now in this place. I can truly say there's nowhere I'd rather be.
And we really, really hope that you're watching and
Yeah.
telling other people to watch because we really don't want to see this as a waste of time.
No, definitely not. We would still do it because maybe we don't have anything else to do, but we really hope you're watching. Share it with your friends, please. And now, John, to some questions for their quarantine,
Let's
for their
get to the questions.
pseudo-quarantine. Let's
Right.
call it that. That
Right.
might not even be accurate.
Quasi-quarantine?
I don't even know what that word means.
Okay. Let's just move on then.
Let's just move on. I'll Google it after. Anyway, guys, question number 1. I know you've all been wondering this because John's a very interesting guy. John, what are you doing to keep busy during this quarantine? What are some things, activities that you're kind of trying out?
Here's some suggestions I have for you
Okay.
guys. One, I have a house, 4 small boys, and about 47 Nerf guns. So one of the things you could do is gather up your Nerf guns, shoot them at your younger siblings, or in my case, your children. You could do that with your pets, but we don't condone that. That's just mean. Younger siblings, your father, really anything, targets if you have to. Those aren't nearly as fun, but we can do that. You could do like productive things. You could organize your room or your closet. Your mom might get really excited about that. I don't really know. You'd probably have to clean it up first if your mom was going to get excited, not just like organize the trash and say this is from fast food and I'm going to keep it over here in this corner, but actually clean and organize some things.
Maybe they could wipe it down? Like
Maybe.
with alcohol wipes? I mean, it's
You
just
could,
to be safe.
just to be safe, kill the viruses.
Kill the viruses.
I understand that.
The viruses.
There's also productive things you could do, watch a Bible study with Right Now Media. You should have free access to that through Temple Baptist Church. Tons of stuff there, not just Bible studies, but videos and all sorts of things that you can have access to through Right Now Media. If you don't have that, I believe you could go to rightnow.temple.life and get access to Right Now Media for free.
Free?
For
Like $0 and
free.
0 cents?
$0, 0 cents.
Man,
It's an
that's a
amazing deal.
That's a great deal.
Some other things you can also do, you can get outside. As long as it's not raining and something weird like that, then get outside. Go for a walk around your neighborhood. Meet your neighbors from a distance. Wave, don't shake hands. But maybe learn your neighbors' names. Maybe just go for a walk and get outside, get some fresh air. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Zach?
Good question. I actually went to Lincoln Parish Park for my first time being
Getting
in
outside.
Ruston.
Getting
Outside. I went and I tried to feed the ducks. Ducks got close, but I think they know what's going on because they practiced proper social distancing, John. They didn't come up and take the bread. I had to throw the bread to them,
Yeah.
which defeated the purpose because my hand was still on it. So,
True.
ducks, if you get coronavirus because I had it, too bad. But yeah, that's one thing that I'm doing. Call your friends. That's one thing that I've probably noticed throughout this. Like, man, now that I have time to call my friends, I'm like, I haven't really called my friends in a while.
You FaceTime your friends?
FaceTime friends. Maybe even group FaceTime. Group FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Man,
I like it.
what a resource. Your face gets bigger as you talk, or smaller if you're not talking. The technology on it is next level.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's really not that next level, but to me, who doesn't know technology, it's next level. I'd also suggest, hey, read a book. I know that might seem far off, but you got nothing else to do, might as well get smarter, during this time.
I like it.
It could be fun.
What
Or
if that book was even like the Bible?
The Bible? John, that's a great book that they could read.
Wouldn't it be great if, like, all these times that teenagers and maybe you have said, if I just had more time, I would read
the
my Bible more.
Wait,
Congratulations, you've got more time now.
that's a good point, John. They could read their Bible.
Hey, is there any kind of, like, plan that maybe we're doing, like, as a church or anything that they could possibly read through?
Wait a minute. Is it the New Testament reading plan that Dr. Reggie rolled out at the beginning of the year.
I think it is. What a great time to catch up on that. I believe it's called like Foundations.
Foundations. They could do that on the Bible app.
They could do that on the app, on the phone that's probably in your hand right now.
Beep, beep. We just reached our sarcasm limit for the episode.
All
No
right.
more sarcasm. We promise. Question number 2, John.
Give it
a
to
little
me.
more serious. Should students, should you be afraid during this time?
Yes, that's a great question. We hear that a lot. You probably have people around you with all kinds of reactions to what's going on. Definitely things are not normal. Some people are absolutely freaking out. Some people think this is not a big deal at all. I think this is something to be taken seriously. However, I don't think it's something that should cause us panic. I don't think it's something that should give us overwhelming fear. We have verses like 2 Timothy 1:7 that tell us that we are not given a spirit of fear, but that instead we have a spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. We have that because Jesus Christ has overcome the world. God's still in control of everything. God is still sovereign. We still have eternal hope in Jesus Christ. Because of that, we don't have a reason to be consumed by fear. I think it's something to be wise about how we handle ourselves, about how we try and remain healthy so that we can still represent Christ, so that we can still do the things that God is calling us to do. But I don't think it's something that we should be overwhelmed with fear about.
Yeah. And John, one thing to keep in perspective, we mentioned this in the video yesterday, when we put events like this into historical perspective, generations and generations of Christians have endured things that could definitely be considered worse than this, but they, proved to persevere through those times and advance the kingdom forward even in the midst of all these crazy things. And it's because of what you just said. Christ has given us a new hope and a new spirit and a new way for us to deal with situations like this. And I think we should really take that to heart during this time. During this time of isolation, pretty much we're limited to spending time with our family. You got your brothers, sisters, and your parents because you're not going to see your friends. You're practicing safe social distancing. So with that, you are spending more time with your parents, which forces you to have conversations with them.
You do. You got to talk to your parents a little bit.
You have to, because you're in the same house. Unless you just want to talk to yourself all day, you're going to have to talk to them. What kind of things should we be talking to our parents about during this time?
Sure. So sometimes having those conversations with your parents is awkward, especially if your parents are the ones that are dominating asking the questions, because then you feel like you're being interrogated. I say switch things around a little bit, Zach. Why don't you be the one that asks questions to your parents? Then you're in control, and you can figure out all sorts of things. Like, hey, Mom, Dad, what were your favorite things to do when you were in high school or when you were in junior high? Hey, who did you hang out with? Ask them about, hey, who was your best friend when you were growing up? What are some of the things that y'all did together?
That's a good one.
Then maybe even ask them, like, hey, do you have any pictures? And then things could get really fun. To see pictures of your parents when they were like your age, that would be awesome.
I need to call my mom right now. I don't know anything. I don't even know any of those questions that you just asked
There you go.
about my parents. Don't make the same mistake as me, guys. Ask your parents those questions. Mom, I love you. I'll FaceTime you later, and I'll find out all that information. That's a good word, but yeah, with this time and talking to your parents, that's really good to be intentional because, one, they're not going to probably expect that, but it also just getting to know them and how they grew up in their background. It might help you kind of see that you guys are more, and I know you might hate to hear this right now, but you're more similar than you might have thought when you hear about their experiences from when they were your age, and I'm sure they'd be willing to share that.
Yeah.
But,
Some other great stuff that we told you about, like from keeping, from hopefully not being bored, was about Right Now Media. There's some things there that you can do with your parents. There's Bible studies that you can go through. Most of those are all video driven, and then some questions afterward. Would highly encourage you to take some time. Maybe you've never asked your parents about their relationship with Christ. Maybe you've never had those spiritual conversations with them. Ask them how they're growing, what they're doing, when they became a Christian, how that happened. You need to know those things about your parents as well. What a great time to do that. Maybe some family devotion type stuff. Your parents may be nervous about starting that kind of thing, so maybe just having that permission from you as a teenager to say,
Yeah.
hey, Mom and Dad, can we do a family devotion together? And what a great
man.
way to spend some extra time.
That would be great. And guys, we really appreciate the questions that you've been asking. We hope that you continue to kind of pour those out in the comment section or just reaching out to us personally. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our page. John, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
Hey, don't forget to check us out on all of our social media sites. There's all kinds of things happening on Instagram, on Facebook, all over the place. Make sure you're staying in touch with everything that we're doing.
Yep. Let us know how we can reach and engage you guys during this crazy season. But that's it for now. Love y'all. See you next time.